What if the story we know isn't the whole story? What if history isn't just dates and names you memorize for a test? What if it's a great house with many rooms, and most of us have only seen the tidy living room? There are dusty attics, dark basements, rooms with difficult stories. Today, August 24th, 2025, let us walk together through this house called America. We won't judge. We'll listen like family, kind, curious, brave. Think of an old family photograph. You see smiles and, if you look closer, tired eyes. To understand the house, we must open every door, pull up a chair, let's sit without anger and learn together. Imagine a vast, beautiful garden stretching from one ocean to another. Many families cared for this garden for generations. It was home to hundreds of nations: the Cherokee, the Lakota, the Haudenosaunee, the Hopi, and many more. Each had language, songs, deep traditions, and systems of governance. They saw life as a circle, everything connected: soil, water, sky. When European settlers arrived, they saw the land as something to own. They drew lines on maps and claimed land forever. Imagine someone building a fence around your neighborhood playground and saying, "This is mine now." That misunderstanding led to a slow, terrible process. Broken treaties, forced marches, and displacement many historians call genocide. Today, the loss is visible in reservation poverty, but there is also resilience, language classes, land restoration, and cultural revival. Imagine you and friends build the best treehouse ever, but some say, make it faster, force others to do the hardest work for free. This is racialized slavery, millions forced to work without pay, without rest, without freedom. For over 2 centuries, especially in the South, an economy was built on unpaid labor. People were treated like property, bought and sold, families torn apart. The law said they were property. This cruel idea justified brutality. Think of Harriet Jacobs, who hid for 7 years to protect her children. Stories like hers show an unbreakable desire for freedom. Enslaved people resisted. Songs, secret schools, escape routes like the Underground Railroad led by people like Harriet Tubman. The Civil War and the 13th Amendment ended slavery legally, but new systems, black codes, segregation, kept inequality alive. Those inequalities passed down through generations, shaping struggles we still face today. Let's imagine a board game where the goal is to collect as much as you can. Money, property, little houses. America played this game with enormous energy. Industry, invention, big cities. It built marvels: the Transcontinental Railroad, electric light, automobiles. But imagine some players start with huge advantages: money, land, secret rules. In the Gilded Age, industrial magnates built fortunes in oil, steel, and railroads, often at great cost to workers. Men, women, and children worked long, dangerous hours for low pay. A few lived in immense luxury while many lived in cramped tenements. Workers organized, unions formed, journalists exposed abuses, pushing for safer conditions, fair wages, 8-hour days. The fight to make the game fairer continues today. Imagine the strongest kid on the playground who can change how other games are played. Sometimes that strength protects others. Sometimes it imposes the big kid's rules. In 1898, the U.S. helped Cuba, then ended up taking former Spanish colonies: the Philippines, Puerto Rico, Guam. In the Philippines, American arrival felt like new colonization and led to a brutal war. Throughout the 20th century, the U.S. intervened in Latin America, the Middle East, and beyond, for mixed reasons: ideals and self-interest. A large military presence helped secure resources and influence. A nation can be both a helper, defeating fascism and at times, a bully. That dual role shapes how people worldwide view America today: beacon to some, shadow to others. Understanding this history is not to call a nation bad. It's to see the full picture with clear eyes. A powerful idea runs through American history: American exceptionalism. It says the United States is special, founded on liberty, equality, and democracy. The Declaration's promise: all men are created equal. A radical idea then, inspiring people worldwide. But some founders, like Thomas Jefferson, owned enslaved people. Showing the promise didn't reach everyone. It's like a house that says all are welcome, but has many doors locked inside. The history is people working hard to unlock those doors. Civil rights activists, suffragists, indigenous leaders. Maybe true exceptionalism is not perfection, but the courage to admit faults, confess, and try to do better. The real magic could be our capacity to listen to those wronged and work, slowly, imperfectly, for atonement and repair. Why does old history matter in 2025? Because it sits with us in the same room. Decisions made centuries ago laid the foundation of the house we all live in today. One group got a 400-year head start, land and unpaid labor, while others were legally blocked from building wealth. You see it in neighborhoods, in paychecks, in who gets loans and good schools. Old harmful ideas still create stereotypes and divides. Learning the full history gives us missing puzzle pieces so we can see the whole picture. With that clarity, we can be better citizens, empathetic neighbors, and fight unfair policies. This knowledge fuels movements for civil rights, environmental justice, and equal opportunity. Showing history is not just past, it is present and actionable. Amid the shadows are brilliant lights, people who resisted and built a better path. Chief Joseph led the Nez Perce on a 170-mile retreat in 1877, outmaneuvering a larger army, then pleaded for peace. "I will fight no more forever." Rosa Parks was a trained activist. Her refusal to budge sparked the Montgomery bus boycott and a powerful movement for justice. Countless ordinary people, enslaved folks who learned to read, suffragists, immigrant labor organizers, created change. Progress is won by people who refuse to accept injustice. We walked dusty rooms. Now what do? The first step is to know the truth. It is how healing begins. You cannot mend what you do not admit is broken. Honest talk lays a foundation of trust. From voting to volunteering, from teaching history to restoring land, small acts become big change. With eyes open, we can pick up a hammer and ask, what kind of home will we build for the next generations? The story isn't finished. Our actions today will be tomorrow's history. If you learned something, share it kindly. Ask questions. Listen. Discuss. Grow. Links below. Free sources and books to learn more. Thank you for sitting with me.